new felony matter. That's the ORT charge. And you also have counsel seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, ma'am. We'll talk about the felony case first and then the Tucson City Court matters. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a $500 bond. Mr. Moser, would like the state like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Michael?
I think honestly, a low bond is appropriate, and I understand that $500 is low, so we do think it's within the acceptable range. I'm just going to argue that the facts of this case indicate very low means to pay. So we think a $250 bond would be appropriate enough to incentivize continued participation, because we do think the failures to appear warrant some bond. But 500 might be actually out of reach for this particular person.
All right, I'm going to impose a bond of $250, cash or secured, release of pretrial services if that bond is posted. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. Do not return to the incident location, which is the Walgreens at 605 West Ajo. Your next court date, ma'am, on this case is going to be a preliminary hearing on April 27th at 1:30 p.m. And if you post that bond or if you're released before then, it's up to you to make sure you keep in contact with the courts and your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. And then as to the Tucson City Court case matters, ma'am, that one I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. I'm going to appoint you an attorney, the Tucson City Public Defender's Office. Not commit any acts of domestic violence, no contact with any alleged victims, not return to any victim's residence. Next court date for Tucson City is May 18th at 2 p.m. All right, so you have 2 court dates to keep track of, ma'am. You'll have attorneys on both your matters. Sure you show up to court.
Do you want to be here? Carball.
At the jail, can we get Mr. Acosta back? Is he still around?
We can get, we need a.
Okay, yes, please.
Acosta. Want to see what happened.
All right, Mr. Acosta, thanks for coming back here. It looks like I got some misinformation. So your now county matter, sir, is actually early justice court. So it is a misdemeanor, not a felony matter like I had thought it was. So actually, I am not going to impose the warrant bond on that one, sir. So
Does the May 18th date still hold?
no, so we're gonna give you a new date for Eloy. Okay, I'm gonna give you a new date, sir, for the Eloy case. It's gonna be April 30th at 10 a.m. The paperwork will reflect that. So you have to show up at Eloy Justice Court on that date, sir, or call them in advance to reschedule it if you can't make that date. I am gonna release you on your own recognizance on that. You still have to show up so that you can quash that warrant over there, because otherwise, to them, it's still out there. Okay? Okay. All right, so you're gonna be released today, sir, on all your matters. All right, good luck to you. Make sure you make all your court dates. Thank you.
Excuse me. You trying to speak? Thank you.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Arturo Carball.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Carball, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some new felony charges, aggravated assault, domestic violence, kidnapping, and possession of a weapon by a predat possessor, which are all felonies. Sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. Mr. Carball, I have reviewed the direct complaint. I have reviewed the pretrial services report. There's also a Form 4 risk questionnaire. Looks like the individual declined to answer any questions. Also reviewed the state's written recommendation, which is a $50,000 bond. Mr. Moser, would the state like to be heard further?
I don't have anything to add to the written recommendation, but I would like to emphasize no contact with the victim in this case.
All right, thank you. Mr. Michael?
Nothing much, simply that there is a several year gap that the previous event history on the criminal record it ends in 2019. So take that into account. We ask.
All right, court's going to impose a bond of $25,000. There'll be cash or secured release of pretrial services if that bond is posted. No drugs, no alcohol, absolutely no acts of domestic violence, absolutely no contact with the alleged victim, who is Lila Vargas. Okay. Do not go to the shared residence. Don't try to find her, sir, or don't try to contact her. If you have personal belongings you have to pick up at the shared residence, you may return with police escort only to pick up those belongings. You cannot return on your own or send someone else with police escorts. All right. Next court date is a preliminary hearing on April 27th at 1:30 p.m. If you fail to appear for court, sir, warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Carball?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Your excuse for today.
Just a moment, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Christensen, this is a time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for a new felony matter of criminal damage, domestic violence. Sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. So we're appointing the public defender's office to represent you, and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, Mr. Christensen. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint, as well as the Form 4 release questionnaire. The state's written recommendation is a $1,000 bond. Mr. Moser, anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Michael?
One moment, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, we understand that the allegations in this case are serious, but the allegations have also not been fully explored by the trial process. He's married, he's fully employed, he has no felony history, no prior DV misdemeanors, he's 29. Screening indicates possible mental health needs. The facts of the case are also not entirely straightforward at this point. So we think that pretrial services imposing conditions such as screening and treatment to evaluate, and also some strict conditions about no contact, that would assuage any of the concerns that might come up by these serious allegations. But due to this being a low offense, there's a presumption of pretrial services release. So we totally understand the state's position, but we're asking for a little bit of nuance here and to give him a chance on pretrial release.
Thank you. Mr. Christensen, I am going to release you to pretrial services. That means you are getting out today, but you have to keep in contact with them as frequently as they tell you to. Absolutely no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no acts of domestic violence, no contact whatsoever, sir, with Adriana Christensen. Do not go to her house or her work or anything like that. You must establish an alternate residence until further order of the court. You must return with police escort only to pick up any personal belongings you have at the shared residence. You can't go back by yourself. Your next court date, sir, is a preliminary hearing on May 7th at 1 p.m. Please keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, sir, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Christensen?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Your excuse for today. Good luck, sir.
Hurry.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured.
All right. Good morning. Can you state your full name, please?
Curry.
Mr. Curry, this is a time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on new felony charges of theft of means of transportation, burglary in the third degree, possession of narcotic drugs and drug paraphernalia. You also have the failure to appear out of Tucson City Court. Looks like it was for driving under the influence and drug paraphernalia from earlier this year. All right, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be an attorney. On your felony matter, I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. An attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. We'll talk about the felony case first. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a no bond hold. I did see the pretrial services report. Looks like Mr. Curry is on pretrial release on a separate felony matter. Anything else state like to add? Thank you, Mr. Michael.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Curry, when someone is pending a felony matter on pretrial release and they get arrested on a new felony matter, the state can ask for a no bond hold. So they have to do a hearing, present evidence from an arresting officer, et cetera, to have a judge find that no bond. So I'm going to set a no bond hearing for next week, April 22nd at 1:30 p.m. At that point, the state will produce evidence and have a witness testimony to hold you without bond, or they may argue for a bond. Your preliminary hearing, sir, is April 27th at 1:30 p.m. All right, so those are your two next court dates. For the Tucson City Court case matter, sir, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date, but I'm still going to appoint you an attorney, Tucson City Public Defender's Office, so you have someone to help you out there. If you are released altogether, the conditions of release include do not drive without a valid driver's license, no drugs, no alcohol. Next court date for Tucson City is going to be May 15th at 9 a.m.
I have trial May 13th.
No, it's okay.
Okay, well, this is for the Tucson City case, so you'll have an attorney to help you out and make sure the dates all coordinate, et cetera. But likely you'll be, if you're still in custody by then, the jail will make sure you get seen. All right. You're excused for today, so you'll find out next week if you're still going to be held without bond or not.
Round chair, please, ma'am.
Thank you. No, I'm steady.
All right, good morning, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Louise Elizabeth Engstrom.
Thank you, Ms. Engstrom. Ma'am, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some new charges. There's some felonies here, criminal damage and endangerment, 5 counts. You also have some misdemeanor charges for driving under the influence, driving under the influence impaired to the slightest degree, as well as extreme driving under the influence over 0.15 blood alcohol. All right, ma'am, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford an attorney, one may be appointed for you. I'm going to order that the public defender's office be appointed to represent you, ma'am, and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today's hearing. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, Ms. Engstrom. I have reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is released to pretrial. Mr. Moser, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
No, thank you. Mr. Michael?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to release you to pretrial services. That just means you have to keep in contact with that agency as frequently as they tell you to. Please do not drive without a valid driver's license, no drugs or alcohol, no contact with any alleged non-family member victims. Your next court date, ma'am, is a preliminary hearing on May 7th at 1 p.m. If you fail to appear for court, ma'am, a warrant can issue for your arrest, so please keep in good contact with your attorney. Do you understand all that, Ms. Engstrom?
Yes.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You're excused for today. All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Andrew John Farmers.
Mr. Farmers, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for a new felony charge of aggravated driving under the influence. Sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is released to pretrial. Mr. Moser, anything further?
Your Honor, I looked at the interim complaint and